Just gonna check on the, just checking the camera, and I'll be right with you. Just gonna make sure the focus is all right. Cool. You'll see in front of me is I've got this delivery. I think it was, in fact, it's today actually. I'm gonna put a link in the in chat of where I've got these from. It's a new paint range that I'm going to try out with the SU27 flanker that I've got. I've got it lined up for the stream at some point. I'm really looking forward to when this comes out. So I'm just going to put a link into where I got the paint. So this paint is it's acrylic, but it's lacquer based. It does have a slight smell to it. I say slight. It is a fair smell, and obviously you can see it does have flammable warnings, and it does say clearly on here dangerous fumes. So obviously I wouldn't use it in a confined space. I mean, I'll put my extraction system on when I start using this stuff. But I am looking forward to it. It's pre-thinned, so you'd have to worry about buying a thinner. And being a lacquer based, I reckon it's going to go lovely through the airbrush, and then onto the actual model itself. I've basically got the range of colours for, and this is predominantly the main reason why I bought it. This is the range for the SU27. MRP is a Russian brand, so an SU27 being obviously a Russian plane, this is kind of going to be the perfect colours. So I've got the full set in order to do the plane, which is brilliant. And the other thing is, what I like about these paints, I'll shake it and see if you can hear it. I don't know if you can hear that, but basically it's got an agitator in there already, which is brilliant, because obviously if any paint gets stuck at the bottom, you can just give it a good shake with that agitator. It's gonna free it up, which is brilliant. So yeah, thoroughly looking forward to doing a full review of this along with the kit. So what I do, I'll basically paint out the kit, and while I'm doing that, I do a review of this and then put it as a separate video on YouTube. I've also bought this, which is the Super Gloss. It looks pretty cool, looks pretty good. I quite like the consistency of it. It's quite thin and runny, so I reckon it'll be quite nice for dipping. So I'm going to have a look at doing like a double dip technique with this, see how we get on. But overall, so far in appearance, it looks really nice paint. I don't think they're any more sort of potent than Tamiya, but we'll find out once we actually atomize the paint and kind of, you know, see what the fumes are like from there. But as I said, I've got an extractor, so I should be reducing the chance of taking in any of that fumes. So we'll put this away. I said, if you're interested in any of the MRP paint, I'll put the link up on the in chat, so you can just go to the website. So obviously this evening I'm going to be carrying on with the Churchill. I've done quite a bit of modelling yesterday and over the weekend a bit. I'm starting to work on this Tucano, the 1/72 FX kit, the Remembrance Day one. I'm trying to get it ready for November the 11th. So when it comes to the repriming of this turret and other few bits, I'm going to basically prime up the Tucano interior, the cockpit and stuff. It's just like a leap forward. It's only a small kit, it's 1/72, tiny little plane, so I don't think it's going to be a particularly slow, but it's going to go quite quick. So I'll bring it out on stream as soon as I'm doing it. I reckon I've got an interesting diorama of it. That's what I'm more excited to kind of show the stream. I think it's quite a cool idea. I saw a picture on Google, and I was quite keen to try and recreate that with my own little twist. So I should be streaming that at some point. So what we're going to do first, basically, I don't know if anyone can remember last time, but basically I'm going to look at getting rid of these seam lines. Got a little one on this lip here. Going to get rid of, and obviously sand down this line, smooth it off, and then completely reprime it. And at the same time repriming this, I'll then reprime the Tucano kit as well at the same time. So yeah, we'll make a start. Let's get going. So what I'm going to do, I've got the basically my skinny stick. Basically these are the Flory model sticks. Are absolutely, I think they're fantastic. I've had this stick for about, well, since Telford basically last year. And obviously Telford's soon coming up, so it's a bit less than a year. And I've only just cut off one little end where it's just worn out, but other than that, it's still, this stick is still going. I've still got a pack load, so well impressed. They're not the cheapest sticks around, but they last for absolutely ages. You get your money's worth, so highly recommended. So I'm just going to use the Finder course and then just go over this. I don't think it's going to take much to get rid of this seam line. We pretty much sorted it out last time, but what I like about Primer, it really does highlight areas you need to kind of concentrate on a bit more when it comes to seam lines or gaps that you need to fill. So we'll just bring this back down to plastic basically, and that pretty much guarantees that this seam line is going to disappear. So I've still got quite a lot of bit to do on this kit. So kits do take me quite a while, but I'm always looking for that extra bit of detail, that extra bit of improvement I can do to the kit just to elevate it a bit more. Just try and improve my own skill set as well. It's generally why it takes me personally so long. And obviously I'm not modelling every day. Do have a full-time job, so I only have like a few evenings to build these kits. Oh, that's nearly there. What I'm doing, I'm just going to get this. So this is the. It's basically got like a polishing on one side and a finer sand on the other. I'm just going to use the slightly coarser one. Just to get in there, give that a few passes. And then just get the smoother side and just give that a good old going over. Just to give that a real nice smooth finish. This is going to give me the first indication whether I've got this rid of this seam line or not. I think that's completely gone now. I think that's gone. Yeah, that's good. So what we're going to do now, work on the other side. So this particular side basically had a gap in this part, so I had to use I used some Vallejo filler. So I have filled this once already. So this is kind of the second fill for this gap. Vallejo filler does tend to, or this putty, see if I can show it to you. I should have it around somewhere. Normally do. There you go. So this stuff does tend to sink. It takes roughly about a day. Well, I normally give it 24 hours to kind of dry and completely set off and then sink fully for then applying again. But it does have a habit of sinking. One sort of filler I want to try to do is kind of using Tamiya extra thin, getting half a bottle and filling it the rest of the half with basically Stynol res. Not Stynol res, so that's the other. That's the primer. Styrene. My apologies. And then mixing that up and giving that a go, seeing if it doesn't really sink as much. So I like to try and do that on stream just so you can see what I'm doing, and then we can give that a test. See if that's any better than the Vallejo stuff that tends to sink. It is good, really good stuff. I just don't like how it sinks, basically. That feels pretty good. I think the top bit just needs a little bit more sanding. Let's just knock off some of this dust from the sander. Again, that's the great thing about these particular sanders. You just when it gets kind of not, its performance is like lowering, maybe slightly clogged up, just give it a tap in your trousers and it just unclogs it completely. Cool. I think I'm happy with that, so we'll give that a go. So that's kind of ready for its prime. As I said, we're going to prime up the Tucano once every second, the shorts kit, the cockpit, and then the two pilots as well. I've just basically used some microcrystal clear to stick onto cocktail sticks. Just makes it easier to then prime up. So what we're going to do, just get the airbrush ready. So what we'll do, get some, I really do need to get some more of this, some airbrush cleaner in first. I'm really running low. I'm just kind of leaving it in the airbrush a little bit just to soak a bit, and then we'll probably undo this and just a few passes just to clear any dry paint that happens to be stuck in this airbrush. It's not too much. I normally I clean out my airbrush quite well after using it, so it doesn't take long to just clear it up. So just get my air hose. Switch on the compressor. What I'm going to do, I'm going to reduce the pressure on my compressor a little bit. It's a little bit high. I do look forward to when I get my new compressor. I've only got a bog standard one at the moment. It's that's better. I just pass some water in there just to ensure that the flow is good, rather than wasting thinner because I'm running low. Yeah, that's good. Cool. So the airbrush is good to go. So what I do, we get some X20A Tamiya thinner. Also need to shake up my primer a little bit. Again, I'm running low on this as well, so I probably have to get some more of this. So give this Stynylrez a good shake. I've probably got enough to do these tasks, but I think I'll probably make an order soon. Just get some more in. I'm just going to get some kitchen roll to lay down just so I don't end up spraying my cutting mat too much. Give that a good stir. Should be good. Let's do a few test sprays, make sure it's alright. Yeah, that's good. That's much better flow. I think last time I just had a bit too much air pressure on there, so I've just turned my compressor down and got much better control now. It's going to be even better when I get my new compressor. So that's looking good. There's still a slight line on this side. But that looks good. So what we do, we get the cockpit I'm also doing of this Tucani 1/72. We'll give that a good old going over with the primer to get that kind of accelerating forward. So I think once the cockpit's kind of done, the rest is really going to flow together quite quick. It's only a small build. Just something I'm doing for November the 11th. Just cut into air just to check it over a little bit. Looks good. Move on to the pilots. Quite good detail on these pilots considering the scale. I was quite impressed. Especially being Airfix. This is an Airfix kit. Bought it with the voucher I get with the Airfix club. It's a good amount of detail on these pilots. It's going to be interesting painting them up. Not too bad at the figure painting, but I'm normally used to doing busts, which is a lot larger scale than this. Just get the seats. I think we're going to end up with quite a bit of primer left over in the cup actually. I have to find something else I can prime up. I don't think I've got anything ready to go. No, I don't. Just going to have to waste a little bit of primer, that's all. Just check over this, see if another layer might just cover this. There you go, yeah, that's covered that nicely. Sometimes just adding another layer of primer is enough just to fill small, tiny little gaps. Yeah, that's good. It's quite a good gap filler, this primer. I know it does dry and it's going to sink slightly, but it's still left a nice finish. It's good. Cool. Right. Well, I've got no other nothing else to prime up, so we'll just throw this away instead. So we clean out the airbrush. I'll kind of get on with the next bit, which I think I'll probably look at spraying down the metal colour on tracks. Do that next. Just get all the spraying all over and done with, which would be good. Let's get another bit of kitchen roll. Carry on using the mortar for now because it's cheap. Alright, just go to the airbrush cleaner. Just making sure this is all spraying out clear, ready for the next paint. I think I'm tempted to kind of use up my Vallejo air metal colours. So I'm now going over to their metal range, but I kind of want to use it up. So because I'm rusting and weathering the tracks, it's you can still quite get good effect with their steel that I've got there. So we'll probably use that for the tracks. I think we've got enough. Yeah, let's use this up. So I'm just going to use this. I sometimes use dark iron quite a bit, but I just want to kind of get rid of these colours because I'm going over to the new Vallejo range of metal colour rather than using these colours. Just because the flex a lot better. It just looks so much more realistic than these particular set. So just giving this a good old shake because it's been a while since I've used this particular colour. So what we'll do, we'll put the turret away to dry, and then we'll get a track ready. Put the Tamiya thin away. I use a slight bit of thinner, a very, very small amount, just because I find even the Vallejo Air range, although it's pretty thin, is sometimes still a little bit thick. Oh, that should be good to go. So what I'll do, we'll put the thinner in first. So literally a minute amount. It doesn't need much because this is pretty thin, but I think it's just could do with a little bit more thinner on it. And we'll give that a good old mix. Just re-agitate it with the Vallejo thinner that I've just put in there. I mean, it's not bad colour this still. I think it's quite good. I mean, the fleck's pretty tiny. And then when you are, because I'm putting oils and washes over it and stuff, I think it's quite good. I quite like it still. I haven't bought the Vallejo metal colour range in steel, so I kind of want to use this up and then compare it with the new range. See how we get on. Should be fine. Give that a few test sprays. Just make sure, yeah, it's good. And then just give that a good. See, it's still a little bit thick coming out of the nozzle there. So what we'll do, just back that off a little bit. This is what I mean by paint still. There you go. Can be a little bit on the thick side, considering it's pre-thin. So that little bit of thinner just really helps. It just gives it a bit of a better consistency. Let's get the next track. Right, a little bit more thinner. Probably a little bit extra thinner in this one, this mix. So I think it was still a little bit too thick. Just allow the flow to be even better. This is why I'm looking forward to the MRP paints, because lacquer based, I reckon the flow is going to be wonderful. Yeah, that's much better. It's just a little bit more thinner. So just because it's pre-thinned, it doesn't mean it's always going to flow brilliantly. Just kind of cut into air, just try and help the drying speed time. See if I can't flip these tracks over to do the other side, basically. Just cut to air for the next lot of tracks. A little bit more wet these tracks. I think they're going to be a little bit longer than the other ones. what I'll do while I wait for that particular thing, tracks to dry, I'm just going to give this a spray with steel as well. Again, I'm gonna kind of weather these up, so. And the handle I'm obviously going to paint over again with to make a kind of a wood effect. Just do this bucket. What I think I'll probably do is get some tweezers on this, so I can get inside the bucket as well. I'll weather the bucket up as well. I'll probably turn these tracks over. That should be right. Just another pass over with air. Small about thinner, because I won't put as much steel in this time around, because you don't need much to finish off these tracks. The internet's going on me. I do apologise.